continue to read. Ezekiel chapter 4. Siege of Jerusalem symbolized. Now, son of man, take a clay tablet, put it in front of you, and draw the city of Jerusalem on it. Then lay siege to it. Erect siege works against it, build a ramp up to it, set up camps against it, and put battering rams around it. Then take an iron pan, place it as an iron wall between you and the city, and turn your face toward it. It will be under siege, and you shall besiege it. This will be a sign to the house of Israel. Then lie on your left side and put the sin of the house of Israel upon yourself. You are to bear their sin for the number of days you lie on your side. I have assigned you the same number of days as the years of their sin. So for 390 days you will bear the sin of the house of Israel. Wow. Think about that, because he's just assigned years to days. After you have finished this, lie down again, this time on your right side, and bear the sin of the house of Judah. I have assigned you 40 days, a day for each year. Turn your face toward the siege of Jerusalem, and with bared arm prophesy against her. I will tie you up with ropes so that you cannot turn from one side to the other until you have finished the days of your siege. Take wheat and barley, beans and lentils, millet and spelt. Put them in a storage jar and use them to make bread for yourself. You are to eat it during the 390 days you lie on your side. Weigh out 20 shekels of food to eat each day, and eat it at set times. Also measure out 1/6 of a hin of water and drink it at set times. Eat the food as you would a barley cake. Bake it in the sight of the people using human excrement for fuel. The Lord said, in this way, the people of Israel will eat defiled food among the nations where I will drive them. Then I said, not so, sovereign Lord. I have never defiled myself. From my youth until now, I have never eaten anything found dead or torn by wild animals. No unclean meat has ever entered my mouth. Very well, he said. I will let you bake your bread over cow manure instead of human excrement. He then said to me, Son of man, I will cut off the supply of food in Jerusalem. The people will eat ration food in anxiety and drink ration water in despair, for food and water will be scarce. They will be appalled at the sight of each other and will waste away because of their sin. So here we are. This time is a time between, so remember, Nebuchadnezzar came, defeated Israel defeated Judah, and had replaced the leadership, the kingship in Jerusalem. And so this is that in-between time. So this is in between the time that he's already left, Nebuchadnezzar already left and came back, and placed another person in charge in Jerusalem. So this is right before Jerusalem gets attacked and completely destroyed. And so Ezekiel's being utilized to show what is going to happen to the remainder of the people, because still, even then, they are refusing to worship the Lord. They are refusing to take guidance from the Lord. They're still doing what they want. They're still being unjust. They're not doing things correctly. They're not following the commands. And so Ezekiel is going to be utilized as signs, as prophecies to the people, at showing them what is going to happen, being a living example. Listen to what the Lord's telling Ezekiel. You are to eat it, you are to eat it during the 390 days you lie on your side. Weigh out 20 shekels of food to eat each day and eat it at set times. Also measure out 1/6 of a hin of water and drink it at set times. Eat the food as you would a barley cake. Bake it in the sight of the people using human excrement for fuel. Then the Lord said, in this way, the people of Israel eat defiled food among the nations where I will drive them. So he's showing them that food's going to be so scarce. So he's going to be very little water, very little food, like in increments throughout the day, being a representation, showing the people exactly what it's going to be like, and showing them, giving them examples so that they can see. Because, a lot of people, they don't believe it until they see it. I won't believe it until I see it, right? So here's the Lord using a prophet to show them what exactly going to happen with Ezekiel. So, bringing past to present, does the Lord to this day utilize things to show us, to give us warning? Yes. All the time. The Lord is always at work. Okay. Though we may not understand it, though we may not see it, it may not be happening exactly at the moment, there are frequent times throughout life that we get those warnings. Have you ever been somewhere and you said, I can walk this path, or I can go over here, or I can choose this other direction? And in your mind, you debated those, and you made a choice. Sometimes when you make a choice, it's because you feel something different. You feel something mysterious. You feel something not quite right if you go in the other direction rather than the direction that you go. Now take that to decisions as well. Take that to all kinds of places in your life, whether it's to eating something, whether it's to make a decision over buying some clothing, or whatever decision you make. Think about that. There are times in our life where we have to make a decision, and we have those feelings. We have those feelings like, this isn't quite right. So I'm going to go in this direction, or I'm going to choose this item because this one I believe works best for me. Let's see here. Someone told me, your first thoughts are your genius thoughts. That's also a saying too. Have you ever heard that one? Like, the first thing, when you have a choice or when you have some situation to come, your first thought about it is the genius one. It's the one that actually is, or may be, the answer, or may be what that is going to best help you. And when I think of that, it reminds me of how the Lord is. The Lord is the first and foremost. He's always there. He always wants to speak to us. He always wants what's best for us. And, he is so anxious and eager. He is the first one. So think about that. He is the Alpha and the Omega. He is the first. And he loves us that much. So think about that through your life. These words that Ezekiel is giving us. Before we go on, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?